Hey Floss Tube, welcome back. This is my third Floss Tube and today is Saturday, so I think the first one I filmed on like a Wednesday or Thursday, then the next one a Friday, and the next one now is Saturday. I just don't really have a set schedule right now. Weekday would be better for me, but this week we started our 4th grade homeschool year with my son, so I was just too busy during the week. You know, in the morning time when it's the best time. And I'm sorry if the light's changing. It was really overcast and I had pulled my blinds up. I'm sitting in front of the window in my dining room and the sun just came out, so I don't know how that's going to affect the light. Hopefully it makes it better. But anyway, so today's video title is I'm fine, it's fine, everything's fine. And that comes from my t-shirt. Hopefully I can figure out how to reverse this today. It says, it's fine, I'm fine, everything's fine. That is my motto for 2020. I just thought that you guys might get a kick out of that and just give you something to laugh about today. So let's get started. The first thing on my list is, I just want to say thank you to all the people who have commented and liked and subscribed to my videos. It's really, really awesome to see, and you know, it just makes me really happy that you guys are enjoying my content. I really appreciate that. So I don't have any finishes this week. Like I said, we started. Okay, let me slow down. Someone commented that I talk too fast. I do talk fast, especially when I'm nervous. And I grew up in Appalachia in southern West Virginia, so we talk fast there. We're like, kind of have a southern accent. It's more hillbilly, which I don't know if you think my accent's strong now, but it used to be really, really thick. I lived in South Carolina for 10 years, so I have slowed down a little bit. So I'm going to try to force myself to slow down and speak more clearly so everyone can understand me, because I know we have Flosstube viewers from all over the place. Okay, I don't have any finishes this week. I didn't have time to finish anything. I didn't even have a goal to finish anything, so I just have whips. My first whip is the one I'm super excited about. This is the Love My Stitching bag. It's a collaboration between Hands On Design and So Much to Love. And you may have seen Kimberly Jolly with this bag on Back Quarter Shop Floss Tube. Well, I was inspired by this fabric, which I'm using for another quilting project. It has different floral designs and botany and sewing machines, which is what drew me to it. So I chose these colors. This is Antique White Monaco. This is my first time stitching on Monaco, 28 count. I chose Queen Bee, Colonial Copper, and Black Coffee to stitch it in. It has 3 colors. I am really loving stitching on this. The Monaco is different than anything I've stitched on. It's definitely stiffer. I did have a little trouble getting my needle in and out. I think I'm using a 26. It could even be a 28. It's just a lot tighter weave than I'm used to. It's not that I don't like it. It's just different to get used to. I'm pushing a little harder on my needle. So a couple weeks ago I was stitching something else and I tend to wear out this crease right here in my finger. So I tried a Band-Aid, but the Band-Aid made it too stiff, so actually what I ended up doing is putting just a piece of thin washi tape right here, and I could still bend my finger, but the needle wasn't constantly, I don't know if it's needle or thread that I'm constantly rubbing that with. So anyway, this is my progress. I've got the scissors, needle, and this will say, I think it says flop. Oh, this is linen. So I'm stitching the black outline for that. I love this. I can't wait to make this bag with this fabric. Oh, I can't wait. I need to get a zipper. I also worked on Little Stitch Girl's Harvest House. I did like one line. I went to my friend's house. We don't get to see each other very often, especially with the quarantine. And our kids were having a play date. And I just basically did 1 or 2 rows of the grass in addition to what I did last week. I just stopped and we were talking. So I was just enjoying my time with her. The other one I have been really working on this week is Calvin and Clyde. I love, love, love Calvin and Clyde by Stitching with the Housewives. I'm stitching this on 14 count antique blue. I got a lot of the outlining done. That is in 3865 DMC. I ran out of that color, and I was bummed because I wanted to do all the outlining, and here comes the sun, so hopefully the lighting's okay. I wanted to do almost all the outlining so I could just go back and fill it in and not worry about a lot of miscounting or anything. So I ran out of 3865, and I live about, I don't know, 20 to 30 minutes from Michael's or Hobby Lobby, depending on traffic, and I just didn't want to go. I didn't want to go out. I try not to go out, too much. And after about 3 days of not going out, I finally had to go to Walmart, and Walmart actually had 3865, so I bought 4 skeins of it right here for my haul to make sure I didn't run out again, because I also need this for a couple other Stitching with the Housewives projects with the cups. And I came home and opened my little cross stitch thread box, and I had a full skein of it. So I had some all along, but I was just thought I didn't, so I never looked for it. So now I have 5 skeins, so I shouldn't run out of this in the next couple weeks. So anyway, I am loving this, and I messed up on the outline of this part, and basically what I did is I reversed the 3865 color, the white, and it was an easy fix because all I did was just shift where the, if you can see it on the pattern, it's like a buffalo check kind of around the sign. I just shifted where the checks were, and that'll fix it. Nobody will know but me, unless we have some really like OCD people out there who are going to criticize it, but I think it'll be okay. Okay, so Stitching with the Housewives released a new What's in My Cup for their fall series. It's called Fall Y'all, with a little scarecrow in there and some crows on the bottom. It's so, so, so cute. So I got this yesterday, and Friday, August 14th, let me slow down, was World Cross Stitch Day. So I didn't get a ton of cross stitching done, but I did get this much. I got the little scarecrows, most of his face, part of his hat, and starting on the sunflowers and corn. So I had all the colors for this except for one, and that is en route with some other thread that I ordered, which, by the way, the past few weeks, the USPS, the post office, the United States Postal Service, has had, let me straighten this up a little bit. Okay. Has had some major changes. So there are big delays. So if you don't already know this and you're ordering things, just know to expect any first class mail, especially, that it's not coming on time. I mean, my husband, he is an eBay reseller on the side. It's just a little side business we started for, to grow. And, it doesn't matter. Sellers, people I buy from, people we sell things to, we're shipping it out, that day or the next day, but it's not getting there on time. So please be patient with your postal workers and your retailers, because, they can ship it out immediately, but the mail is not getting processed as quickly as it used to. So just, I know it's hard because, like, I've ordered thread. The people I've ordered it from, they have shipped it out really quickly, but it's just sitting somewhere in the middle of the country in a truck or in a bin or whatever, and it's not getting to my mailbox. So it is disappointing, but the retailers can't help it and the postal workers can't help it. So let's just give them some love, because they're really having a hard time right now. That's it for my whips. So I just have, other than the DMC, I had some thread come in, I think it was earlier this week, and I came prepared today. I brought piece of black poster board to maybe help show these. This is Classic Colorworks Tea and Biscuits. This is Little Pink Peony. I ordered this because I robbed my skein of this for the Mistletoe Lane project, and it was actually from my Fat Quarter Shop Feels Like Home project that is sitting there half finished. So I needed to replace this, so that's why I ordered that. And actually this skein of it is, I think it's a much more beautiful color than the one that I had. I think the one I had was older, and this is a newer dyed skein. Oh, it's so pretty. It's just like a pale baby pink. Mariner's Compass, which is for stitching with the Housewives, Clovis and Stanley. I had to think of the name. That's the one I won in a giveaway the week before last with Stitching with the Housewives. And I've got the PDF pattern. I'm just waiting for my thread to come in, and then I need to choose a fabric to stitch it on. And then Chesapeake Bay, which is for Calvin and Clyde, and it may go Clovis and Stanley too. So 4 beautiful colors. It was very sweet opening this up, and of course they wrap it like this, and it's like, oh, that's so pretty. Very excited. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, unpause. I had to run and get my Snow Village project. I didn't bring this over here. Oh, by the way, let me just confess something. I do not have neat backs. I'm not the kind of person that cares about my backs. So, full disclosure, I do carry my threads unless it's very see-through. Look at this back. Oh yeah, look at that mess. Nice and messy. But you know what? No one will ever know. But I will say this. On this project, I am not doing that. This is neater because you can, that's the back. It's reversed right now because my camera's reversed. This is actually the back. This is the front. This is my neatest one because you can see the black thread if I carry it through here. I tested it because I did not want to end and start all of those letters, but I had to because you could clearly see the black thread behind there. So I'm taking more time and care with that one. But for this one, the weave is tight, the color's dark. I'm not worried about it. The reason I ran and grabbed my Snow Village, I have not worked on this week. I kind of got sick of Christmas with Jolly July, and I'm stitching fall. So I put this away for a little while. But I wanted to talk about the Rit dyeing and how I chose this color. So I'm using my phone to film. So I grabbed my son's phone. Hopefully there's enough battery on it. So basically what I did is I went to the Rit Dye website. And I didn't know to do this. I just Googled Rit Dye colors. And when you go to the website, it lets you choose, it's like a drop down menu, and you can click color formulas. Well, and this keeps tilting. I chose the color formulas for, I think it's like either all-purpose or synthetic. I chose all-purpose, so it would include cotton. And then it'll bring up a page. If you go to the bottom of that page, it'll say download PDF. If you download that PDF, it will give you, it's getting glare from my window, it'll give you all of these colors, like all of the colors, okay, of the rainbow. Any color you want. So I went to different ones, and actually in the greens is where I found the color I wanted, even though I was looking for a gray. But just scrolling through, and now I've lost it, I have to find it again. And scrolling through, I found this color in the greens that I wanted for Snow Village. Just bear with me as I find it. It's a 38-page PDF, so I wouldn't recommend printing it out and the colors aren't going to be, unless you have a super good printer, the colors aren't going to be accurate anyway. You can just open the file on your phone and look through it. Okay, I'm getting closer. I'm in the greens. Okay. So the color I really liked was this, and it's called Morning Mist. And I'm sure with the variations in the phones you can't really see what it is. But it says 1 tablespoon of pearl gray and 1.5 teaspoons of Kelly green. And so I went and bought pearl gray and Kelly green. Now those mixtures are for the liquid version. The next time I buy dye, I'm buying liquid. I was trying to save a couple dollars and I bought the powder. It's not worth saving $2 to get this powder, because it's a lot harder to, you know, to work with. You have to make sure it's dissolved and everything. I followed the video that Stitching with the Housewives, Priscilla and Chelsea, made for when they Rit dyed and coffee tea dyed fabric, but I did not do the modeling. So I guess I kind of followed it. I kind of did my own thing. I boiled water and dissolved salt in the water, and then put that into a plastic container, and then put my fabric in that dye. And this is the color that it came out. Well, actually, it was a lighter version of this. And to me, it doesn't look green at all, even though it has Kelly green in it. In person, it's definitely a bluish gray. And I thought, oh, it's not dark enough, so I put it in. And now, it's a little too dark. The colors don't, the white pops, but the other colors don't pop the way that I would like them to, particularly the green in the holly and the trees. So I would not recommend this dark of a color for that reason, because like here are my leaves, and I think they show up better on camera, but in person they blend in too much. There's more contrast on the phone than in person. So when in doubt, don't double dunk. So anyway, I will link that website that I used. If YouTube will let me, I will link the PDF part to download. If not, you can just scroll through the website and you can look at all the colors. Now, I did have a problem finding those particular colors in my town. At that time, Hobby Lobby did not have any Rit dye. Michael's had a limited stock. I believe I got that at Michael's. And my Walmart had Rit dye, but they were sold out of a lot of colors. And they didn't have the Kelly green that I need. Let's see, I think it's Kelly green. Yeah, they did not have that Kelly green that I needed. So if you're just looking for really, really common colors, you probably wouldn't have a problem. But for this, they didn't have it. And it was pretty expensive to have it shipped, even from Amazon. I was like, you know. So I used, I went to Michael's, I think. One of these I used a coupon on, and the other one I paid full price. So that's my Rit dye story. If you have any tips for Rit dyeing, because I do plan to do it again, probably for my Main Street project. Last week I talked about I want to stitch Main Street because my husband is the mayor of our small town, and you guys left some really sweet comments about that. And what I've decided to do is I'm going to collect all of the Main Street patterns before I start. Unlike Snow Village, where I just am getting like 1 or 2 patterns at a time, I want to get all the patterns together, lay it out, and make sure that they all look good on whatever color I choose. Whether I take them to a store to pick fabric, or, you know, I just want to look at them in person. And of course get the floss. I like all the called for colors. The only thing is, I think it's really cute. I was showing my husband, and I was telling him how I wanted to change the gazebo to to wood colors, because our gazebo in our town it's not painted white. It is natural wood colors. And I said, look, right under the gazebo is the grocery store. Well, before he works his current job, he's mayor on the side. It's a part-time job. His full-time job he's been at for a few years, but before that he worked at our local Piggly Wiggly for 24 years, basically since he was in high school. So he worked there for a long time, and everybody, you know how small towns are. Well, maybe you don't, but in a small town, everybody knows everybody. So my husband worked at this tiny local grocery store, so that was a huge part of his life, and everybody knows him from that job. And he's a super friendly guy, so the nickname for our grocery store, instead of saying Piggly Wiggly, everybody calls it the Pig. So he said, you know, could you, instead of it saying grocery, could you put Piggly Wiggly or the Pig? So I probably will change it to the Pig because it's shorter, and that would just be a cute nod to his history, not only as mayor, but also his history at the Piggly Wiggly. So, you know, the Piggly Wiggly will always hold a special place in his heart and in mine, because that's where he worked when we were first married. So anyway, that's more of our Main Street story. Let me see what else I have on my list. And I'm sorry, like, I'm really tired this week, so I guess, you know, I'm really feeling it. So if you can tell if that's coming across, I really am. I'm tired. We started school. I had a lot going on this week, so I apologize. Okay, so this is not cross stitching, but this is something else that I started. My son really likes puzzles, so we started a couple puzzles for school, and he finished his, and I have a puzzle that I bought at Goodwill. It is a really nice Ravensburger puzzle, and it is a sewing and craft room, so I thought you guys would enjoy that. Well, it's not really crafts. It's all, well, yeah, it is. There's yarn, buttons, scissors, different kinds of fabric. There's like quilting fabric, dress fabric, and there's the old like cash register. It's really, really cool. I found this at Goodwill for like $3.94, and I had to get it. And this was right when we first were able to go out after the first big lockdown, and my husband and I were in Goodwill, and of course everybody was buying puzzles, so I was very excited to find this puzzle, and it's also a really good quality. So anyway, I have not worked it because I always feel guilty for things like this because they take up the dining room table. We have a small house, and I feel like I always have other things I need to do, or I can cross stitch, or I can sew, or I can do the 60 million chores I need to do around my house, or maybe, you know, spend time with my family. But I decided last night, you know, I've had a long week. I'm just going to get this puzzle out, and I'm just going to do the border, okay? Well, guess who was working on this puzzle until 2 o'clock last night? Because I was just like, oh man, I just really want to get this done. It was so relaxing. I really couldn't think about a lot of other things, but I do watch Big Brother. I don't know if you guys know what Big Brother is. It's a show on CBS, and I have been watching it since it's been on, really since season 2, and this is season 22, and I subscribe to the live feeds. So I had my phone sitting on the table with my headphones because they have language on there I don't want my son to hear, and I listened to the live feeds of Big Brother while I worked my puzzle. So I did take some breaks, you know, for my son's bedtime and things. So that was really fun. I'm about halfway done. I'm going to try to insert a picture here that shows how much I got done last night. So I want to finish this today because I'm going to have to clean this table off because my husband and I both share this table for different things, and it's like where I lay out my cutting mat for quilting and do my cutting. It's where my husband sorts and organizes his eBay reseller stuff, and it's also our homeschool table. So we are constantly moving and shifting what we're doing on this table. So nothing can sit out for too long on this table because we all share it. So anyway, that's my puzzle. I also talked about I sew and quilt. I'm kind of I would say I'm an advanced beginner. I've been quilting for, I don't know, maybe maybe 6 years or so, and I can't quilt all the time because, you know, I have other things going on, but when I can, I love it. So I'm going to show you some of the things I'm working on with my quilting, and you see my sewing table back here. That's just a, I don't know what it's called. It's from Amazon. If you just look up sewing table, you can see it from Amazon. I have a cheap sewing machine. I have the Brother CS 6000i. I think at the time it was like maybe $140 on sale. I would love to have a really nice sewing machine, but at this point in my life, it's just not a priority because this sewing machine is doing what I need it to do. It's kind of like you have a car that works, you would like a nicer car, but, you know, I'm thankful for what I have. So, and it has made a lot of quilts, and I used to make a lot more purses and handbags, but I don't do that anymore. So it has made a lot of things. It has really, that cheap sewing machine has made a lot of things for me, so I'm very appreciative. And it was also a gift from my mother-in-law. My original sewing machine was a like $99 one from Walmart, and it died. So she got me that one because she knew how much I love to sew. So I'm very thankful for that. Okay, so let me grab some of my quilting things. This is one that I have not worked on in a couple months. This is the finished layout. This is a free pattern from Moda called Be My Neighbor. And I've made the first 2 blocks. Grab those. This is a line. This is a mixture of lines from Amy Sinibaldi. I believe it's Art Gallery Fabrics, which is one of my favorite fabric manufacturers. And the lighting is really crazy because the sun is just blasting, but it's in pinks and blues, a hint of green for the trees. Let me try to go back because these are big blocks. Right there. And then the second block that I've made, this is one I'm just going to pick up off and on. It's just a free pattern that I love from the internet. It's not for anyone else. It's not a rush. It's not a gift. It's just whenever I feel inspired to work on it. And these have been folded up in my storage box. This is the second block. So they're pretty big blocks, which makes it easier for me to do because the bigger the blocks, the less mistakes I make. So that's Be My Neighbor. This is the next block whenever I pick it back up again. Block 3. So I've printed out all this from online, and okay, before the pandemic hit, I had started working on Moda Blockheads 3. I had a big stash of scraps. Well, big for me, not big for like people I know that have whole rooms full of fabric. But I had a stash. But when the pandemic hit, I started making masks for the nurses, and I used almost all of the good quilting fabric that I had. So I went down to like no fabric. So once I was done making masks, I slowly have been working on my stash, and that Amy Sinibaldi fabric was the first fabric that I started collecting. And some of it you can't buy anymore. I was very fortunate I was able to get some of it from Etsy. So all these things I'm showing you are things that I have started buying or started since, I don't know, April. Okay, so Fat Quarter Shop is doing a free pattern sew along for I think almost maybe a year. It's called, they're calling it, I think, the Sewcialites. So I just pulled from, I had gotten this fabric for another project that I didn't get to. It was supposed to be a rainbow quilt. Let me try to put some of this. It was supposed to be like a rainbow quilt, and I didn't get to do that quilt. So I had some of these left over from another project, And then I had bought some more for the rainbow quilt to complete the colors. And I'm going to use this stash. This is low volume backgrounds. That's like a matte print. This is like a newsprint. This looks like music, sheets of music. Those are Moda compositions. And then I have just a little bit of this bead backgrounds that I think someone put in an order for free as a thank you. So this is what I'm using for that free pattern. It is on excuse me, the Fat Quarter Shop blog, I think, and it's also on the Kimberly's Stitch Squad page, and they made a separate Facebook group for this Quilt-A-Long. I'm excited about that because I didn't get to finish Moda Blockheads, so this is going to be my year-long Quilt-A-Long instead of that. I'm also doing the Mystery Block of the Month pattern for Fat Quarter Shop. This is month 1. This is the Bloomington fabric. And I have to look at my patterns to remember who made Bloomington. I've lost them. I have not done month 2 or 3, and I can't. Y'all, my house is not that big. I just had this pattern, so it's hiding under something. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'll also show you, I have different boxes I keep my stuff in, but I try to keep them separate. So this is the box that I got for my Mystery Block of the Month because this is a year-long thing, and I want to put my smaller scraps in the top like this to organize them, and my bigger scraps in the bottom. These are the 2 months I haven't done. This is block 2. This is last month's. And what I'll do is I'll just get these out one day when I feel like quilting. And I'll starch on my fabric and work on these 2 blocks. This is month 3. I just got this one in the mail this week. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this for you. Oh, this is called Heritage Rose. I don't know who designed Bloomington. Is it maybe Sherry and Chelsea? No. Layla Boutique. Vanessa Gertzen of Layla Boutique. Okay, because she did the first one, which was Mayday. So, these are beautiful, 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 but they're not my style. So, when I get done with this, this will be a gift to someone who loves this style. So, this will be a gift for someone. And this could be a huge spoiler. My very, very, very best friend. We have been best friends for like 25 years, but we've known each other for 35 years. We were enemies before we were best friends. We were grade school enemies. She's the one who got me into sewing and quilting. She's the OG. So we both turned 40 this past year, and I wanted to make her a quilt for her 40th birthday. I've never made her a quilt because it's like trying to make the queen tea. I mean, how do you make, you know, your mentor something? It's like a lot of pressure. So I saw this fabric line, and she's the kind of person that she'll tell me she watched this video, but she's not going to watch this video probably. So if she does, that's my fault. I've spoiled the surprise. I don't think she's going to watch. Okay, so I found this fabric line called, it's from Art Gallery. This is my bin, my polka dot bin I got Dollar General. It's called Her and History. And it encompasses everything that is like so lovely about my best friend. She's a master gardener. It has botanicals. It has, look at that. Oh my goodness. It's beautiful. It has lots of florals. And it also has the print that I pulled from my my Love My Stitching bag, this one. This is from that line. Shh, don't tell her. Don't tell her the secret. Let me get some of these other fabrics out. So basically, what I'm doing is I am using the Fat Quarter Shop Log Cabin Block paper piecing. Because I've tried to make a log cabin before and they're always wonky. I mess them up every time. And this fabric is so beautiful that it would break my heart to just make a bunch of messed up blocks. Now, my quilting's not perfect, but there's a difference between, you know, homemade and junk. So I don't want to turn it to junk. So this is what they're turning out like. And there's a yellow print right here that is going to go into the middle of every block, because the yellow in a log cabin quilt represents friendship. And she's more than a friend. She's my sister. We've been through a lot together. So this is a very special quilt for her. This is the second block I've got done, again with the yellow in the middle. And it has a handwriting print. Oh, it's gorgeous, y'all. It's so gorgeous. I just can't even tell you. It's called Her and History. I think the designer's Bonnie Christine, but don't hold me to that. But it's definitely the Her and History line. So I told her that her quilt would be done before her 41st birthday in December. So I have to get that done before December. And let's see. That's the only ones I really have in progress. I have some other projects that I've kind of got set to the side that I want to do, but I haven't started, so I won't share those. And I think that's it. I think that's it. I've looked at everything. I can't find anything else. So, let's see. We're at 37 minutes. It's not too bad. Thank you for sticking with me. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I hope that I slowed down some today so everyone can understand me. And I will do my best to link the things that I talked about today. Okay, so I am trying to, I've mentioned before, my favorite Flosstube channels are Stitching with the Housewives and Fat Quarter Shop Stitching, Stitch Tube or whatever. And I'm trying to watch other channels, and there's so many, so many. And some of you have commented that you have them, and I've went and I've watched your videos and they are awesome. And I guess because of that, I'm getting more suggestions in my YouTube channel. I mean, my YouTube suggestion list. See, I share a YouTube with my son who's 10. So about 90% of my YouTube video suggestions are for Roblox. I don't know if any of you guys have kids, nieces, nephews, whatever, that play Roblox, but that's what my son loves. He just turned 10 on the 5th, and we had him a Roblox birthday party. Well, party. We had a very small sleepover with his best friends and his cousin. So, you know, because of the pandemic, we didn't have a birthday party. But he did have a sleepover, and it was Roblox theme. And so anyway, usually I have to weed out all the kids' videos to get to what I like to watch. And by the way, if you ever see a crazy comment on YouTube with my name on it, it's probably from him, because he comments under my name. So they'll be like, Crystal Rowe commented, "You're a noob," under a Roblox video. So anyway, I had a Floss Tube pop up under my suggestions, and it was Just Keep Stitching. I hope I got that right. It's a mother and daughter, and you guys are probably like, duh, we already watched them. But I had never watched them. It's Pam and Stephanie, so I watched their latest video, and I was laughing so hard. They were so funny. I mean, every 3 minutes, I was laughing out loud at something Stephanie said. Or Steph. I guess she goes by Steph. So I have went back and I have started their videos from the beginning. And I think it's going to take me like a year to get through their videos. But they are so hilarious. I think I'm on their 4th week of Flosstube. I did go back and watch last week's first. And then I thought, okay, I'm just going to watch them from the beginning because they're just hilarious. So if you haven't watched Just Keep Stitching, if you're like me and you're just new to this and you don't know all the, popular floss tubers, check them out. I will link their channel because, I mean, it's like you have a stressful day or whatever, and like you turn that on and they just have you laughing so hard. So I love it. I love them. I love their channel. Please tell me your favorite floss tubers in the comments so that I can discover more, because every time I find a new floss tube, it's so cool how everybody uses different fabric. Like me, I'm still using like newbie fabric, like the Ada's. I do use some even weave. I just tried Monaco, but I have never tried linen. I've never used silks. I've never used silk thread. I'm just now learning all this stuff. So it's so fun to see what other people are stitching, their patterns I never would have seen before, to see what fabrics they use, all these beautiful fabrics. There's so many. The threads, the different brands of thread, the different shades of thread. They talk about their local shops. I can't get to any local needlework shops right now. I live about, I would say about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, more like an hour and 15 minutes from 4 major cities. And not major cities, but larger cities that have quilting shops, needlework shops. But it's hard for me to get there because of our family situation. I have a son who has special needs. He's autistic, and while he's very high functioning, he does not like to leave home. And we have an extremely small list, basically 2 people, his 2 grandmas that, babysit him, and it's a lot of stress on him for us to be gone for a while. So when we do go somewhere out of town, out of our local town, it's kind of a big deal. And he, of course, with the pandemic, we're definitely not taking him, but even before the pandemic, he just gets too stressed out, being out of his comfort zone, unless he's going to get like Roblox toys or Legos or something like that, of course. But so it's not easy for me to go to a brick and mortar store that's outside my main area. So I really hope to get to one of the people have suggested them in the comments, and also I have read about some online that are in the area, and maybe one day this fall I can just take a friend and my husband can stay home with our son, and I can just go do a shop hop. So that would be fun. Anyway, thanks guys. I will see you next week. Bye.